Dear children, welcome to 10th Standard Physics. Chapter 3, Electronics. In the previous capsule, we have studied diodes and transistors. Capsule 3. In this capsule, we are going to study about radio communication and television communication. Dear children, recall these points. Diode is a two-terminal semiconductor device which can act as both rectifier and a resistor. Transistor is a three-terminal semiconductor device which finds greater application in amplifiers, oscillators, and switching circuits. Diodes and transistors are of great use in the field of communication. Now, let us know about communication and broadcasting. Communication. Communication means transmission of information from one person to another person. Dear children, information may be a written message, spoken words, a picture, and so on. The development in the field of communication has revolutionized our lifestyles. Not only that, there is always continuous quest for faster and faster means for communication techniques. From centuries, we have been using many communication devices. Some of them are telegraph. It is the oldest way of sending a piece of information. It is carried out through sound signals. Telephone. It is a system by which two or more persons at different places can exchange talks. Radio. A device through which music or speech is received from the broadcasting station. Television is a type of communication through which sound as well as image is received from broadcasting station. Radar communication is mostly used in airports to either guide a plane or to find its speed. Now, pair up with a friend and find the answer. Which one of these is not a mode of communication? A. Radio, B. Television, C. Bus, and D. Telephone. The correct answer is C. Bus. A radio station generally broadcasts speech or music. Let us now understand about radio communication. Radio communication. Radio communication is the process of sending information from one place and receiving it at another place without connecting wires. Dear children, radio waves, as you know, have least frequency and hence can easily spread in all directions. Now, let us understand what is radio broadcasting. The process of transmission of speech or music over long distances using radio waves is called radio broadcasting. Let us understand the major parts involved in the radio broadcasting system. There are two major parts in radio broadcasting system, namely radio transmitter and radio receiver. Radio signals sent from transmitter travel through space and are received by the receiver. Transmitter is a device used to generate and broadcast radio or video signals using electromagnetic waves. Receiver is a device that receives incoming audio or video signals and convert them into original form of sound or image. Now, answer these questions. It is time to pair up and find the answer. What is a transmitter? Answer: transmitter is a device used to generate and broadcast radio or video signals using electromagnetic waves. What is a receiver? Answer: receiver is a device that receives incoming audio or video signals and convert them into original form of sound or image. Now, let us understand the different stages involved in radio transmission. Stages of radio transmission. The audio information in the form of sound waves is received by the microphone. This device changes audio signal to electrical signal. Here, microphone acts as a transducer. Transducer is a device that converts information energy to electrical signals. This electrical signal, called audio frequency signal or AF signal, is very weak. Hence, it is amplified by a suitable amplifier called AF amplifier. AF signals have low energy and cannot be transmitted over long distances. Radio waves of desirable frequency, called carrier waves, are generated in RF oscillator. Audio signals and the carrier wave are sent to the mixer, where audio signal is superimposed on carrier wave. This process is called modulation. The modulated signal is again amplified in RF amplifier. Finally, this signal is sent to the antenna, which radiates these signals in the form of spherical waves. Dear children, let us now understand about modulation technique. Modulation. Modulation is the process by which audio signals to be broadcast are superimposed on radio waves. Types of modulation. There are two types: amplitude modulation and frequency modulation. Amplitude modulation, or AM, is a type of modulation in which amplitude of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the AF signal. In the picture, you can see modulating wave and carrier wave. When amplitude modulation is done, we get the modulated wave. Frequency modulation, or FM, is a type of modulation in which frequency of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the AF signal. In the picture, you can see modulating wave and carrier wave. When frequency modulation is done, we get the modulated wave. Block diagram of radio transmitter. Children, copy down this in your notebook. Now, think and answer. What is the need for amplification of audio signals? Answer. The audio signals are very weak and cannot travel long distances, and hence they need to be amplified. In which parts of the radio broadcasting a transistor is used? Answer. Transistor is used in AF amplifier, RF amplifier and RF oscillator. Let us now understand the working of radio transmission. Now, children, note down the working of radio transmission in your notebook. Microphone converts audio signals into electrical signals called AF signals. AF signal being weak is amplified. RF waves of suitable frequency are generated in oscillator. AF signal is superimposed on RF waves for long distance traveling. This is called modulation. The modulated signal is amplified and sent to antenna. Antenna radiates these signals into space. After knowing the working of a radio transmission, let us study stages of radio receiver. Working of a radio receiver. Dear children, radio receiver works as the reverse process of transmission. Radio waves sent by all stations are received by the antenna. Selected tune is then amplified in the amplifier. The amplified AF signal has to be demodulated so as to get the required form. So, in the detector, AF signal is separated from the carrier wave. Audio signal is again amplified and then sent to the loudspeaker. Block diagram of radio receiver. Now, children, copy down this diagram in your notebook. Think and answer. What is the purpose of loudspeakers in a radio receiver? Answer. Loudspeakers convert electrical signals to audio signals. It is time to pair up and find the answer. What is the function of detector in a radio receiver? Answer. Detector, also called as demodulator, separates audio frequency signal from the carrier wave. Let us once again understand the working of radio receiver. Antenna receives radio waves sent by the transmitter. When a particular station is chosen, RF signal is amplified. The detector or the demodulator separates the AF signal from the carrier wave. Dear children, Copy down these points in your notebook. AF signal is amplified. Amplified AF signal is sent to the loudspeakers. Dear children, copy down these points in your notebook. Students, you already know that television is one of the communication media. Now, let us know about television and its broadcasting. Television. Television means seeing at a distance. Television broadcasting. Television broadcasting is the process of transmission of transient visual image of an actual or recorded scene along with audio signal to a distance using radio waves. Television broadcasting also works similar to radio broadcasting. Television broadcasting is done using television transmitter and television receiver. Now, let us understand the stages involved in television transmitter. Stages of television transmitter. Block diagram of television transmitter. At TV station, TV camera scans different portions of the picture or scene to be transmitted in a particular order. Dear children, the function of camera is not only to scan picture but also convert them into video signals. This conversion of energy is done with the help of a photoelectric device in the camera. The video signal is amplified. The video signal is amplitude modulated with the carrier wave in the mixer. Audio transmission is done in the same way as radio transmission. A microphone picks up the sound waves and is amplified. This AF signal is frequency modulated in the mixer. Children, only thing you have to remember is that the frequency of audio carrier is always higher than that of the video carrier. The two modulated carriers are amplified and transmitted through the same transmitting antenna. Working of television transmitter. Dear children, note down these important points in your book. TV camera scans different portions of the picture or scene to be transmitted. Photoelectric device in the camera acts as a transducer and converts variations in brightness of visual images into electrical signals. The video signal is amplified and superimposed on an amplitude modulated RF carrier wave. Similarly, sound picked up by a microphone is amplified and is superimposed on a frequency modulated RF carrier wave. The two modulated carriers are amplified and transmitted through the same transmitting antenna. Write down all these important points in your notebook. Stages of television receiver. Block diagram of television receiver. RF signals, both video and audio, are collected by the receiving antenna. In television receiver, the demodulators are cathode ray tube for the video signals and FM receiver for the audio signals. The output corresponding to the video signal is used to control the intensity of the light in the cathode ray tube. This helps to obtain the transmitted picture. Similarly, audio signals are separated from the carrier wave using an FM receiver. This helps to obtain the transmitted sound. Working of television receiver. Children, note down these important points in your book. RF signals are collected by the receiving antenna and desired station is selected. In the cathode ray tube, the output corresponding to the video signal is used to control the intensity of light. This helps to obtain the picture transmitted. FM receiver separates the audio signal and reproduces the transmitted sound. Now, think and answer. What are transducers? Name the transducer in the following. 1. Radio transmitter and 2. TV transmitter. Answer. Transducer is a device which converts one form of energy to another form of energy. The transducer in radio transmitter is a microphone. The transducer in a TV transmitter is a camera, which is a photoelectric device. Now, pair up with a friend and answer. What is the major difference between radio and TV broadcasting? Answer. In radio broadcasting, only audio signal is transmitted, whereas in television broadcasting, both audio and video signals are transmitted.